The Lead. Sponsored by Lavish Boutique, Lavish Coffee, Jasper Veterinary Clinic, Jasper Bone and Joint, and Carl Cannon Chevrolet Buick GMC. Well, welcome to The Lead, everybody. Filling in for Greg Tinker. I'm your host, Al Blanton, and today we welcome two special guests, the head coach of the Sumiton Christian Eagles, Jeremy Hall, and his shooting guard, Braden Woodard. Guys, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Good to have y'all. One of the things I was looking at when I first got your bio, you and I have something in common, and we've never met before, but I have a law degree, and I also decided to go into coaching. So tell me a little bit about that. I wanted to know about your career in law and then how you got into the coaching profession.
When I went to college, I wanted to be a lawyer, but I also wanted to be a coach. I just kind of figured, I can make more money being in the law field. So I started off as I went to law school, went to Birmingham School of Law, and I did that for about 13 years. But I always had the desire to get into coaching.
Oh, wow.
I was at a place called Nathan and Nathan for about 10.
Okay.
Did some personal injury stuff, just changed out some different things. But just always had that itch to coach.
Yeah.
And just didn't know if it would ever work out. And then the opportunity came to teach. I just kind of feel like I almost just, that door just opened to get in at Sumiton Christian and offered me an opportunity to start coaching junior high girls.
Yeah.
And I did that for a few years, and then moved my way up to JV, and then this is my first year coaching varsity boys.
I could stay on that law topic forever. We probably
absolutely.
need to get moving on. But, this is your first year, as you said, coaching boys. And talk a little bit about your approach, some of the things when you first got, the keys to that program that you decided to, build your program on, some of those principles.
Yes. Well, I always had a mindset of if I ever got that opportunity to be head of the program, that we were going to play fast. We were going to, I grew up in the 80s, 90s of the Showtime Lakers, the Chicago Bulls, the Bad Boy Pistons and things like that. But I wanted to play fast and, just trying to change our program up of how we had normally played, so we, wanted to press from the get-go. So we changed our whole conditioning approach in the summer on how we began to work out. And as far as we constantly, always, every day practice against the press. Just giving the guys liberty, giving the guys liberty to shoot threes. We try to get about 70 shots up a game, and about half of those we want at least threes out of it. And so it's fun for the guys. We've seen some excitement out of that. Who doesn't like to shoot threes?
Absolutely.
But also it's under a controlled situation to where we're not just coming up there jacking up stuff.
Right.
But we've seen, I'll say this, since we changed to what we call the system of press, shooting threes, half of them being most of those threes, that's why I think we're runner-up in the area this year.
Braden, let's turn to you for a second. What do you like about Coach's approach to basketball?
He's a player's coach. He listens to his players and really takes their input into consideration, where we want to play fast, want to score as many points as we can in a game, and we adapted well.
Yeah.
And
was that a little bit of a transition for you guys moving into this new philosophy?
I would say so. Last year we really didn't press much. We would sit back in a half-court defense.
Yeah.
This year we're pressing, pushing the ball, trying to get a shot up in 12 seconds or less. So it's been different, but it's been fun.
Now you guys have had some success this year. In your first year, you've got an upcoming playoff game against Meek coming up this Tuesday, and not that you're looking ahead, but if you were to get ahead of that, what does that playoff picture look for you guys?
It looks like we would draw Addison for the championship game. We just played Addison a couple of weeks ago, and it was a 4-point ball game with 4 minutes to go. We were right there. Like you said, you don't want to look ahead, but we feel like if we can get past that game on Tuesday night, which they're very well coached, very tough team. They play very sound defense, move the ball well. That we'd have a chance to do something we haven't done in a really long time, and that's win the area championship. We talk all the time about cutting the nets down. And that's, our motto's been the job's not finished. We still plan on playing.
Sumiton Christian is a Christian school. Most people know that, but you also serve as the kids pastor at Sumiton Church of God. People are like, oh, kids these days. Well, paint me a picture of what the kids you serve are like.
You talking about on the basketball kids?
or the kids that you serve through the church.
Yeah, looking at my row, I'm a dual row there, with basketball coach and kids pastor. I just see with kids today, I mean, they're very curious, they're very, a lot of questions on things, especially in the church setting and with our basketball team. I think that's one reason why we changed to how we did on our offensive system and stuff this year is the kids like playing more of aggressive style. They love to play. They like to be fun, run and gun, and that's one reason with my coaching philosophy of, like Braden said, giving them a little bit more input. They don't like somebody just to come in always and just say, well, this is how we're going to do it, and you're going to like it or leave it. I like to let them have a voice. They've got opinions, they've got knowledge, and I think that's what we've seen for success for us is giving them more of a say.
Braden, take me in the mind of a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid that's going to school at Sumiton Christian. What are the things that are important to you, and then what are some challenges that you guys have to face?
I would say, first and foremost, our relationship with God, building that relationship up and living it out in their daily life. Second is just always being others' friends and always being there for others. Some of the challenges you face is the private school name that they put on it. They think we think that we're privileged and are entitled to a lot of stuff, but we're just like every other school in the county. Just get a more Christ-like environment to go to school at, and it's a privilege to even attend.
Understandably. Now, you're a family man.
I am.
Been married to Amy for 15 years.
15
You got
years.
2 kids, Stephen and Mary Elizabeth.
Twins.
Twins, okay.
Twins.
What does a typical weekend look like for the Hall family?
To be honest with you, it's relaxation and rest on the weekends. My wife is so supportive. Getting into coaching, you got to have support.
Yeah.
You got to have support from your spouse, and I'm gone 3 days a week, games, 5 days a week practicing, but on the weekends we just try to relax out and just do stuff family time.
Yeah.
Whether that's just go outside, go to the movies, go out to eat, and I try not to think about basketball for those weekends. Then I'm turning in on Sunday and I'm, ministering to those kids during church. But it's just a lot of just family time and of just trying to get away from a little bit to where we don't think about basketball for a little bit.
How old are the twins?
They are 10.
10.
They are 10. Yes, sir.
So what are they into? I'm curious. I've got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Okay.
So we're into like Bluey and Curious George and unicorns and things like that. What are your 10-year-olds into?
We are into. Mary Liz is into baton.
Okay.
Okay. We are.
I'll prepare for that.
We are prepared for that. She is also into dance, cheer.
Yeah.
So we're kind of a mixture on that.
Yeah.
My son Stephen is into. We're really into Lego building.
Yeah.
That's our big thing.
My son loves that.
Just building Legos. We're into music. Loves to play the drums.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a strong mixture.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is we haven't hit the sports itch yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've neither just really. They like to come watch Dad coach, but they're like, I don't know that I want to play it yet.
Do you watch sports on the weekend?
That's all I do.
Yeah.
Outside of
just kind of veg out with sports.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm constantly recording college games, and then on Sunday evenings, when it's just kind of kids are in the bed, wife's in the bed, I'm watching stuff.
Yeah.
Got my notepad out, and
Trying to learn.
I'm just learning.
Yeah.
A constant learner.
Yeah, that's what I loved to do when I was a coach. Is I drank. It was almost like drinking from a fire hydrant for me, and it took too much space up in my life. But that's one of the things I love to do is watch college basketball. I was a college basketball coach, but I'd come home and watch it. And but I just loved it, and so I do. And I didn't have a family back then, but it's good that you were able to strike that balance too.
Yes, it is, and I just feel like I'm never you never arrive
Yeah.
to where you feel
absolutely.
like you know enough.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly reaching out to other coaches, and I've really started hitting some really good relationships with some of the coaches here in Jasper, and they've been just terrific, terrific to reach out.
Yeah. Speaking about coaches, who are some guys that sort of influenced you, and then who are some that are on a national level that you particularly respect?
Yeah, as far as influenced me, Coach Yarbrough, he was the coach at Sumiton Christian. He's the one who really gave me my first start, and he coached there for 5 or 6 years, and really took me under his wing and really taught me a lot of knowledge and stuff. And as far as here, Coach Rice, who's our girls coach, he played college ball. Actually, he's the leading scorer all time at Sumiton Christian. He's really my assistant coach. A lot of knowledge there. But the thing about him is he still lets me do my own thing. He'll offer some advice there. But he's been great. Coach Driver at Jasper under Coach Burns
Ronnie Driver,
has been a huge help to me this year. Huge encouragement, whether it's text or something like that, or just some advice. On the college level, I'm a huge Nate Oates guy. Love the style he plays. Of just shooting the threes, looking for the layups first, and free throws. Also, I tell you, our system's really built too. I like what Sanford's doing this year.
Yeah.
A lot of fast pace.
Bucky's had success everywhere he's gone.
Everywhere.
It's not surprising.
Yeah, not surprising at all. And our cheerleading coach is actually the cheerleading coach at Sanford.
Yeah.
And I keep telling him, I was like, y'all going to be lucky to keep him, probably, the success he's had. But just watching those things and taking notes and how they do their press and how they just run their offense has been great. So.
Now, Braden, who are some of the guys that you like to watch, whether that be college players or NBA players? I told in the last show, I said that I just started back with like fantasy sports. So I got a fantasy NBA team this year, and I've got my roster. I'm really trying to get back into it, and it's helping me to get back into it. But who are some of the guys that you particularly like?
I would say on the college level would be Mark Sears.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He can do anything on the floor. At the professional level, I would say Devin Booker or Kevin Durant. Those two are probably my top two in the league. So
I've got a pretty strong team right now. I'm number one in my league, but again, I think I may have gotten lucky with my drafts, but I've got some good guys on my team. Let's talk about faith for a moment. Obviously, that's something that's very, very important to y'all, and just kind of walk me through, for you, Coach, some critical times in your life that really shaped who you are and shaped your faith life.
Really, how I got really into teaching and coaching. I mean, I think I just felt like I hit a dry spell in my life where it was just like, God, what's my purpose? Is this really my purpose? Which I, was enjoying what I was doing in the practice of law, but I don't know, I just felt like there was always more, that God wanted more in my life. And I can just remember praying, really seeking God, and just really feeling like God was going to open up doors that I really didn't see coming. There's a scripture that says, He'll give you the secret petitions of your heart. And I can remember just praying and being in my house alone at times and just saying, God, you know my heart. I want to teach, I want to coach, but how could it ever happen? How could you ever, I don't really want to go back to school another, 4 or 5 years. You being a lawyer, you know how many years we went to school, and but just really seeking God, and then it just seemed like God opening the door when I quit worrying about it. Really, when I put my trust in Him, He began to open up doors that, I mean, goodness, it's just been unbelievable of the things I've seen God do. And just the opportunity almost feels like it's not even a job, to get to teach and impact kids' life. And I tell my students all the time that classroom's my pulpit. It allows me to be able to share the gospel. That's one thing I love about being at a Christian school. We can be open about our faith. I've had students be able to come in and say, "Hey, Coach, can we pray about this situation? This is what I'm going through at home." So really, it's built my faith, being able to be a witness to them.
Was there a guy early on that you kind of looked at that you said, I want to be like that guy?
My father.
Yeah.
My father. My father raised me so right and taught me at an early age about right and wrong, about the gospel. I grew up as a preacher's kid. So I grew up in the ministry. But I saw the things he battled, things he struggled with in the ministry of just how things are. And that's the thing I'm always grateful for from my mom and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of parents would have said, look, no, we spend all this money, you're staking in the law. My mom and dad said, hey, look, we support you. We support you, whatever. And look, if you feel like God's calling you into coaching and teaching, hey, we're there. Hey, my mom and dad are there every night. So it'd be my father.
Yeah, that's great to have that support like
It is.
that.
It is.
One of the things we do always on the show is we sign the poster, and I believe Braden's going to go first. So, Braden, if you'll do the honors, and then Coach will sign.
Okay, sounds great.
Now, Braden may add more value to this than anybody else. I mean, we hadn't had that many players. It's been all right.
Okay. All righty.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you
Coach,
for having us today.
Braden,
Thank you.
hope you all come back, and we
Thank y'all
really
for having
appreciate
us.
y'all being here. For Jeremy Hall and Braden Woodard, I'm Al Blanton. I want to remind you to pick up a copy of 78 Magazine at 150 locations all over Walker County, and we'll see you next time on The Lead. The Lead, sponsored by Lavish Boutique, Lavish Coffee, Jasper Veterinary Clinic, Jasper Bone and Joint, and Carl Cannon Chevrolet Buick GMC.